So hi guys, welcome to my second channel. Today I just wanted to talk about an issue that's been on my mind recently, and it's pretty fresh as well, so I just want to sit down and talk. So I just came back from a walk with my little sister, right? She's 1.5, and so she has to be in a pram, and she was just, me and her were just minding our own business, walking to the Range and then Tesco, which are like a home decor and art supply department store and a big supermarket, which are pretty close to where we live. And me being 18, walking with a child is some kind of, I don't know, something to be ashamed of. That's what I pick up from other people around me. So we were just walking to the shop by main roads, and every car that passed by was staring at me and at Marcy, with not smiling, not just like curious, just with judging eyes. Well, that's what I picked up the vibes as. They were just looking at me with like disgust. For some reason, nowadays it's 2016, and teen pregnancy is not a taboo subject anymore. Young girls decide to have children now at a very young age, even though like a few years back my mum had me when she was 19, so that's kind of teenage still, and it was pretty acceptable then. So I don't know why people stare at teenage mums with disgust. Even though Marcy is not my child, I'm just like looking after her and her babysitter most times, and I would like to go out with her once in a while to take her on a walk or something. And we weren't even doing anything wrong, we were just walking, and I was pushing her in the pram. She was just minding her own business, I was minding my own, and I don't know why people just decided to stare at me with such judgmental looks. I don't know, it's strange to me. And the other thing is that there's quite a lot of crossing to do to get to both of those shops. So there are like crossing lights and everything, but you have to cross like in the middle of the road between one shop and the other sometimes, so without those lights being there. So the thing is, if I want to cross the road just as me and Marcy, nobody would stop. Everybody would just carry on. Well, they would look at me, judge me, and then just carry on in the car. It's like, I'm not worthy of them stopping to let me cross, you know what I mean? And I've noticed this when I was walking with my mum and she was pushing Marcy and I was just walking alongside. Every car that we came up to like this, the crossing part, every car has stopped for her. I don't know what's up with that, but it's wrong. It's not something to be ashamed of. So, if you want a child at a young age, go for it. It's up to you, but other people shouldn't judge you for your decisions and for your life kind of choices. I think it's wrong, and it's just very upsetting. That's why I hardly leave the house with Marcy on my own, just because I get really bad anxiety. Just literally, there's nothing else I think about the whole way there and back home is, this is not my child, this is not my child, why are you looking at me like this? And I shouldn't be thinking that, because people should be nice and people shouldn't judge young women and, you know, girls that are, you know, the legal age of having sex, you know. Like if a girl had, I don't know, maybe 14 or 15 years old and she was a mum, yeah, that's kind of wrong, that's kind of shouldn't happen. But if a girl is, you know, 16 and over, because in this country it's legal to have sex from 16, but if the girl is, you know, age of 18, 19, shouldn't be judged, she shouldn't be looked at that way just because she decides to put a life out. Sorry if I've been clicking my knuckles. You know, letting a life out into the world, creating a life, and she's in a good environment, she's got a job, she's looking after the child properly, and, you know, if she's with a partner, then that's great. If she's a single parent, then, you know, we can't just sit and, well, go around and just stare at people with judging eyes when you think, well, your opinion is that it's, you know, she's just got knocked up being drunk. What if she really wanted that child? What if she's engaged to a guy or a girl or whatever, and they are happy and they want to start a family really fast because they, you know, they don't go to uni, or they just think that it's the suitable time to start a family? Why should we judge people that decide on their own future in their own life, you know? It's wrong and we shouldn't do it, but as humans we do. We love to judge, and it's just our human nature, we just can't help it. But my opinion is it's wrong and we shouldn't do it. I love taking Marcy on walks. I love playing with her in the park. I love taking her to swings. You know, I love taking her everywhere because she's literally my world. She's one of the important people in my life. And I will always take care of her as if she was my child. My parents both work full-time, and I don't go to college here at the moment. I don't go to college anymore because I've taken a gap year. So I'm basically her carer when my parents are both at work. And, you know, we shouldn't judge people for being kind to either animals or children. It's wrong. You know, if a young girl walks out with a dog, nobody would care, nobody would judge her. Why is when she walks out with a child, why is it people all of a sudden judge for her having a child at a younger age than is appropriate? Well, there's no appropriate age to have a child. You can have a child at any age from legal age, from the legal consent sex age. That makes sense? No, that doesn't. From the legal age, they can have sex. She can have a child if she wants it, or if that makes any sense. I don't know. I'm rambling. I don't know. I think it's very harsh of people to act that way, just because, you know, their opinion varies from other people. In different countries, children have children, you know, like a 12-year-old can have a child, and that's perfectly acceptable. But here it's like, oh, you're 25, yay, you can have a child now. But, you know, what if you're maybe 18 or 17 and you really want a child, and you have wanted a child for ages, and you've been with the guy that you want a child with for a long time, and you're planning a family? There's nothing wrong with that. you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And same as if, I don't know, a 43-year-old or like a 50-year-old still could have a child and they get pregnant, why is it wrong for them to have a child? You know, there was a documentary that I watched about a 53-year-old lady getting pregnant with twins, and people were just judging her for her age and that she was planning on having those children and keeping those children at her age. Granted, she's not going to be there for long. You know, she's going to need help from other people or like her other children to look after them, but you know, if she's able to and she wants to, why is it wrong for her to have them? You know, it's not wrong. And you know, it varies on opinions from people to people, but from person to person, but my opinion is that it's not wrong to have children at any age over the legal age of having sex. So it's 16 in the UK. You can have as many children as you like. Just make sure that you're in a good environment, money to you know, provide for those children, and you treat the children right, then I don't see a reason why you shouldn't have children at any age from 16. So you know, if I was going out, if Marcy was my child, I'd be as same as protective as I am now. Even though she's not my child, I am very protective of her, just because I was alone for 17 years of my life, and there's 17 years difference between us. So she's like my child, but not really. I'm just very protective and very motherly of her, even though I'm not her mum. So she just means the world to me, and I think people just need to open their eyes and see that what they're doing and how they're acting around people, it's judgmental and rude. Even in the shop, people just kept staring at me. In today's society, young girls and young women have children, so people just assume that she was mine, when in fact she wasn't, and that she's just my little sister and that I just take care of her, just to make sure that my house is running and we have enough money for bills and for food and stuff, and for, you know, provide for her. I work, so I provide for myself, but I still eat the food that my family gives me. I drink the drinks, I, you know, use the water, use the electricity, use the internet. I use a lot of their stuff, so I'm still using their stuff as, you know, a family member does, but I still have my own money to provide for myself, you know, like. So she's oblivious to it because she doesn't understand it, but it just makes me really frustrated and really angry. It makes me really angry, and I don't know, it's just a hard topic to talk about because a lot of opinions vary, and you know, somebody may think that unless you're 20 or older you shouldn't have kids because you're not providing for them properly and you're not going to look after them properly just because you're going to have your social life. And you know, some people like me, I'm not really a social life animal. I don't go to parties that much, I don't really go out drinking, I just stay at home and, you know, take care of my family and do what I want to do in a closed kind of safe environment, because I get really anxious and really panicky when I'm out at night. I don't like going out at night, so you know, I'm mostly home before it gets dark, so you know, it's kind of a difficult subject to talk about when people, you know, have different opinions and stick to them, you know. I've been rambling on for way too long. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here now. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.